Welcome to Yank Your Mets, the podcast that covers all things Yankees and Mets. Well, Chad, I'm happy to be joining you in Cancun now that the Mets and Yankees are both out of it. So a nice place you got here in Cancun. It's lovely. I love what you've done with it.
I've been here for a couple of weeks now, so I've had time to nest and prepare for your arrival.
You knew all along we were coming
here, which is because I was like, I'm going to start paying attention to the Yankees. So they're like, yeah, peace, we're out. Yeah, I thought for sure Schlittler there would be a little bit more magic in that hat, but not so much.
Yeah, so many thoughts, everyone, when your team loses, everyone has ideas about what went wrong, right? I mean, I think with the Mets, it was pretty clear what they needed. I think so. I mean, they needed pitching, right? They do need pitching.
They also needed to get their heads out of their ass.
That too.
And play defense.
Those are all fair, but they seem like things that you can fix. It's like you at least address, right? Like, because there's no guarantees in anything.
Sure.
But you can go out and sign a free agent pitcher. You can find better defensive players, right? Mm-hmm. I'm having a hard time really pinpointing like a specific problem with this Yankees team. And people will tell you, oh, they just need to hit with runners in scoring position. And that's true. We needed to pitch better. That's true. I mean, really, we just failed on all levels in the DS against Toronto. And so where do you even begin to process what exactly this team needs to do? You're not going to go out and sign another free agent pitcher, right? You're not going to spend another $200 million on another Max Fried. We have our rotation is locked for the next for the future.
Yeah, your rotation set. You just need those middle relievers.
Middle relief, certainly.
Middle relief. If you guys lock down a few solid, more just reliable arms, I feel like you're not far. Look, you had a good season.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just lose. Sometimes it's a 5-game series, so like things happen. And Fried unfortunately got torched in game 1, and that was unexpected. But sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and then Rodon got torched in game 2.
And then game 2, Rodon got torched.
Everyone that you relied on. And we played well down the stretch. Mm-hmm. Everyone that you thought was going to be solid. And coming out of the Red Sox series, like, we had pitched well. Obviously, we lost to Crochet. Yeah, won the next 2 games. But Fried, Rodon, who was the game 3 starter? I'm sorry. Well, Heel started game 1, right? It was Heel, he blew. Fried, he blew. Rodon, he blew. And Schlittler, the guy that everyone thought would be like the saving grace, actually pitched okay. We didn't give him any run support. And we happened we managed to win the Rodon game because we just had to, and like the offense picked it up and got off the deck. But like we can't fix this with more pitching. Mm-mm. We don't need any more bats because our lineup is pretty good. I think there are things that I would point to and say, like, well, we want to re-sign Cody Bellinger. We want him long term. Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree that a lot of these guys, like Grisham, Goldschmidt, won't be back next year. Yeah. And not that they were the problem, because I liked Goldie as a defensive, right-handed first baseman. I thought he was fine. Ben Rice should probably be the first baseman next year, work on his defense. That's something you can work on. Mm-hmm. But we have to re-sign these players. This team felt so close. We just got beat by a team that was playing better baseball. And I think the biggest difference is that we didn't hit with runners in scoring position because we have guys that are swingers. We have guys that
We got some swingers.
They're sitting fastball. They want to put good swings on the ball. The problem is the ball is like 3 feet outside, and so they look ridiculous when they swing. The things that we have to address is the approach, and we've talked about this. We just have to have guys that hit. with runners in scoring position that aren't trying to swing for the fences. I mean, Austin Wells, where was he? Jazz Chisholm lost. He just had put up a big 0, and every swing he took was, swinging for the fences. They were just big swings and counts where you just need to be putting the ball in play. Yeah. And there was no better case for that, and no better example of how well that could work than the Toronto Blue Jays. We just couldn't get them out. And by the way, Vlad was hitting home runs. We need those guys. We need boppers on the team, but we're just not balanced. And I think that's the big key. And A-Rod ripped the organization for poor roster construction. And I kind of have to agree with him. We don't have, the Ernie Clements of the world who went 8 for 12 in the first 3 games, who you just couldn't get out. We didn't have any of that. We need more Clements.
I mean, if that's what you want to go into the offseason with, we need more Clements. Come on. And that's the thing. You just don't know about those kinds of players until they're there.
Yeah.
And next season, what is Clement going to do in the postseason? Is he going to go 8 for 12? Probably not. But I agree with you. I think what the Yankees lineup was missing was the guy that bears down. The guy that just, it's that philosophy and mentality of keep the line moving that it always seems to work in the playoffs. It's let the next guy do it. And the Yankees were all pressing and they all wanted to be the hero, and they weren't keeping the line moving. They weren't letting the next guy do it, because when the next guy came up, he was then swinging for the fences. And it's just in those bases loaded situations, just get the run, get the hit, get the ball in play. Do not strike out. Just bear down, choke up, whatever it is you got to do. It's what, for me on the flip side, it's what Jeff McNeil used to be, and that's where I think it's so frustrating. With McNeil, where it's just bear down, do you. And Jazz, you don't need it's not rock and jock baseball. You're not hitting a 10-run home run. Just bear down, keep the line moving, get a single, draw a walk, whatever it is, get the run in. They just, if you're asking what the lineup needs, it's those kinds of guys, those grinders, those guys that just have good at bats and don't press. And that's the problem. The whole team was pressing.
That's something that I think the manager can help control. And Aaron Boone is supposed to be a guy who, keeps everybody even keeled. And I think he's done a good job of that. I think Boone's a good manager. I don't want to make this a Boone bashing thing, but I do think that, he has to take some of the responsibility here. I can't really point to one decision that he made that I would disagree with, because he was faced with circumstances that nobody would want. And it's because his team was down early, big in those, especially in those first 2 games. Didn't matter who he brought in. Everyone was getting rocked.
Yeah.
I think this is more of a Cashman thing. If you fire Boone, who are you going to bring in? Another guy who thinks like Boone, another guy who Cashman can control. This isn't, Cashman's not about to bring in a Girardi type again. I think this rests with Cashman. I think the guys, the front office has to look at the entire organization and determine we are not raising baseball minded players. They're getting great athletes. There's no question that these guys are tremendous athletes. We need baseball players who think like you just said. Let the next guy do it. Something that Soto did really well and took some criticism for, I think early on for the Mets, because he was still taking his walks. He's all about just getting on base. Let the next guy do it. He was that guy for the Yankees too, because Judge was hitting behind him, and often Judge would get it going. Mm-hmm. We don't have guys that walk that way. Not since Soto. I mean, they don't take walks the way Soto did. And
since Soto, you mean last year?
Yeah, that's
all the way back in 2024. Yeah,
all the way since Soto. But no one's kind of come in to fill that void. We have guys that are coming up there to look to do damage, and end up looking foolish in these big spots. Austin Wells with the bases loaded. The guy just walked the last two batters, and he goes up there and he swings at the first pitch and he pops it up.
Yeah, how do you do that?
He pops it up.
That's just...
He just walked the last two guys. And he swung at a pitch. Anyway.
Is that something that... No, is that something that... Do the coaches know he's going to do that? Or are they like... Do they have to, and nor should they have to? Third base coach comes down the line and says, all right, take the first pitch. I mean, that's what you do in high school. The third base coach would come down and be like, okay, dudes just walked two guys in a row. Take the first pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, is that on the coaching? Like,
I mean, there have to be situations where the coaching staff is telling them to take or giving them the green light, right? That's still part of the strategy. The defense of that play I heard was that, look, because he had just walked the last two guys, he's probably looking to throw a strike, right? Because the base is loaded, 2 outs, like it's the number 9 hitter. You feel good about going up against Austin Wells, who has historically not performed well in the postseason. And so the rationale is, well, he doesn't want to get behind another hitter, so he's going to throw a strike. So go ahead and swing. But this is where analytics is taking over. As Austin Wells, you have to be reacting to the pitch, not thinking about numbers and probability and statistics. Like, look for a good pitch and put a good swing on a good pitch. Don't just swing because he walked the last two batters and you're assuming, well, the statistics say he's likely going to throw a strike here. He got a fastball, but it was high and away and he popped it up. Inning over.
By that logic, on every 3-2 pitch, the pitcher is going to throw a strike. Right? Because he can't walk the guy.
Certainly wouldn't want to walk him.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Right.
He's not going to walk. He's going to throw a strike.
Yeah.
If it were that easy, then they wouldn't be in that situation. They would not have walked the last two guys, because guess what? When that guy was three balls in the previous guy, he didn't want to walk him, but he still walked him.
He still walked him. It's frustrating. That play stands out to me. That just a huge missed opportunity. Obviously the Jazz error at second, they might have given him a hit. I can't remember. It's a ball that Jazz should have had. There was a moment in game 3 that the Yankees actually won where Jazz caught left looking uninterested or disinterested, head in the clouds, runner moving around third looking to score, and Jazz gets the relay in from the outfield to try to get the guy at second base. Meanwhile, the guy from third is booking it home, and Jazz is like, how could he be going? You mean somebody sent that guy? Oh my God. So he rushes a throw home. He's safe. He redeems himself later by hitting the go-ahead home run, but it's like, bro, keep your head in the game. He's another one of the example of just a tremendous athlete who I think plays baseball, but he's not a baseball player. A lot of thoughts on Jazz. If I were ownership, I would be looking to trade him. I want Glaber back. I want guys that put, good at bats together. In the big spots, he came up small, minus the home run to give him the lead and eventual win in game 3.
Those are the teams that win in the playoffs, the guys that make those right decisions, the guys that don't have to redeem themselves because they didn't put themselves in a position to have to redeem. Right. Like it's those are the smart, like that's what I hated watching those 2015 Royals. They just did not make a mistake. They constantly made the right play. And it was so frustrating because you were just not you. They weren't going to beat themselves. And that's the hardest thing to do in the playoffs. But the one thing I will say for the Yankees and for you guys and for all teams is that in the last 100 years, there have only been 100 teams that have won the World Series. There's only one that can win. There's a lot of really good teams that don't win the World Series. So 100 teams out of thousands have won the World Series in the last 100 years. So good teams are not going to win the World Series. And I'm not saying that the Yankees could or should have won the World Series. They're a good team. They beat the Red Sox. But there's only so many. I mean, look, you got the Blue Jays against the Mariners now. They're both good teams. One of them isn't even going to go to the World Series. So that's just the unfortunate reality of baseball. There's just a lot of good teams, and you're not always going to win.
Yeah. I guess to me, it's about how you look doing it, winning or losing. If the Yankees had kept up with the Blue Jays kept the score tight, played well. Actually, defensively, I think, with the exception of a couple of plays, they played pretty well defensively. I think overall they cleaned up their defense as opposed to last year. Yeah. We just didn't hit. My concern is and like you said, great teams don't win. And certainly this team was good enough to win. From a talent standpoint, this team could have won if we played a week later. Maybe the Blue Jays are skidding and the Yankees are just tearing the cover off the ball and making all the right decisions and making all the right moves. That is baseball, but it's been year in and year out. Something is always happening to keep the Yankees out. And lately, over the last few seasons, it's been hitting. You can look at the pitching and how dreadful the pitching has been.
Clutch hitting. Right.
Sorry. Clutch hitting. We just haven't gotten that clutch hit. We've historically pitched well. And if we ran it back with the same staff next year, I would have confidence in the staff. I think Rodon, Fried, Heel, Schlittler, Cole coming back. I would put that staff against anybody.
I would take that. I'll trade you staff for staff any day.
I mean, come on. How wouldn't you want that staff? But I think the fix here is much harder to pinpoint. It's how do you measure success in New York? How do you find guys that, hit in the clutch unless they've done it before? But there's no guarantee they're going to do it year in and year out. A-Rod wasn't clutch until he finally was, and then they won the World Series. Judge wasn't clutch until this year, and you're thinking, God, if Judge can just turn it around, that was last year. If Judge can just hit in the postseason, he can carry the Yankees. Well, guess what? Judge hit, and then no one else showed up, and that's where we are. I don't think we're certainly not going to blow it up. There are some moves I think we need to make. I think we need to seriously consider, giving Anthony Volpe some competition at shortstop or trying to move him to second base. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think you can just go in with the assumption that, Volpe's our shortstop and that's the way it's going to go. You have to give him some competition. He has to be better. I already said I don't really care for Jazz to come back, but he's, under contract, I think, for at least another year or two. So he's going to be back. I would look to trade him, honestly, off a 30-30 season. I don't think his stock is ever going to be any higher than it is now. No. Try to get something for him. I would re-sign Devin Williams. That's probably not a popular take considering the year he had, but he showed me enough down the stretch pitching in those high leverage situations, albeit as a setup guy, where look, I know he can do it in New York. He was the best closer in baseball for a series for about 3 or 4 years, right? And he comes in New York and he has a bad year, but he's at least got a year of New York under his belt. So I would run it back with Devin Williams.
As an option. Yeah.
As an option. I mean, because to your point, you need those middle relievers. You need just a core of good relievers, especially in these bullpen games, right? Now that bullpen games are a thing and that we know that it can be effective, you want good arms, especially when your starters don't have it. And Devin Williams has shown enough down the stretch when the urgency to win was greater than it had been all year. He performed well. So I would totally run it back with Devin Williams. Bednar is a guy who solidified the closer's role, but there's no guarantee he's going to be the same guy. The Pirates had sent him down to the minors before he found himself and came back. He's totally capable of blowing the next season, right? But anybody is. That's the thing. It's you can't. I don't want them to be so reactive to say, well, we have to blow up the bullpen or get a new offense because we're so close. We just have to have guys that perform.
Yeah. Well, and here, the other side of the coin too, similarly, if analytics worked for everybody would win.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting there crunching the numbers and guess what? Somebody loses in that situation. Everybody's playing the analytics to have the best pitcher in that moment and put the best defense in line. Everybody's playing the analytics to put the best batter in line. One of them is going to lose. It's just how baseball works, unfortunately.
Right.
So you can sit there and crunch all the numbers you want, but at the end of the day, you just need players that perform. And I will choose anybody that's performed in New York over anybody that hasn't any day. If you have a track record that you can point back on because it's just a different beast, And if you perform in the postseason, because that's going to be the closest thing to playing in New York on a daily basis, like if there are people that have, or guys that have performed in the clutch and come up in tough situations. Tommy Edman, like, he would be a good person to add to your team just because he's been there and he's done it before. And you're not signing him to hit 30 home runs,
right?
And drive in 90 RBIs. You're signing him for October. And because he can come through and he's proven to you in the past that, hey, he won't wilt under the pressure. Doesn't mean he's going to come through, but he won't wilt. And there's too many players that try to overdo it in those situations, Jazz being one of them, that I feel like somebody like a Tommy Edman would be a better player to have up in that situation if there's bases loaded and nobody out, or
100%,
or whatever it is. And those are the guys that you have to go find.
Yeah. Last year we lost to Tommy Edman.
Yeah.
I mean, he single-handedly
Quite
beat
literally.
the Yankees. I mean, he was the World Series MVP. He beat us. I mean, we beat ourselves. We had a disastrous fifth inning in that game.
Well.
But people forget also in that game, after we gave up, all of those runs, they came back and tied it. We commit all of these blunders defensively. We still took the lead again.
Yep.
We had the lead again, and we still lost. So everyone points to that inning. And of course, we gave them the ground to make up all those runs, but we had the lead. We had the lead. And this year we lost to Ernie Clement and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, we lost to a big bat who you just couldn't get out.
Literally.
But it was like, you could have pitched around him, and then you're facing Ernie Clement down in the 7 or 8 hole. And like,
that's what you need. I mean, that's what wins in the postseason, and the postseason shows you that every year.
Yeah.
I mean, and until Jazz does something magical to, in the clutch and to just deliver, like, go find your Tommy Edmans. And half of them, I mean, the Dodgers didn't know Tommy Edman was Tommy Edman. There's no way.
Yeah.
Until last year. Like, so it makes that finding those guys even harder. But that, to me, isn't that scouting? Like, I heard Keith or Ron or somebody mentioned, like, the amount of bunting that they saw in the last month of the season when the games mattered. It was almost like they were kind of putting all the analytics away, and they were playing sort of old school baseball. They were moving the runners over. They were playing one run at a time. And the point being, like, that's playoff baseball. That's what wins games. It's that extra run.
Yep.
Those are the guys you need to find through scouting. Who are the guys that can lay down a bunt when you have to? Who are the guys that can go first to third when you have to? That's what wins in the playoffs every year.
Bunting. Forget it. It's a lost art. We can't bunt.
No. And especially with the amount now of tight games that you play, because 20 years ago it was 2 series. Like, you were playing in the ALCS or NLCS in the World Series,
and that was it.
That was it. Now you got to win these like hyper compressed wild card rounds. You have to win 2 games, and and one of them you're going to go against somebody's ace,
right?
And there's a good chance you're going to be on the road. So it's so much harder now. So like building and constructing a lineup that has that sort of Royals just next guy up and turn, like, you're hedging your bets by, all right, if this guy gets out, the next guy's going to come through with an oppo hit, like, or bunt the guy over. It's scratching out runs. You just have to find the guys that can scratch out a run when you need a run.
And again, you can't point to a team that did it any better than the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, what frustrates me so much about, like, Yankees fans and Yankees media too, is that the Blue Jays were labeled as frauds, man. And like, by what measure? Because they started out slow, and everyone was criticizing the contract that Vladdy Jr. got, like 14 years, $500 million. It's like, bro, that is a steal now when you look at it. It's like he's one of the better offensive players in the league. By the way, he's been flashing the glove. He's been hustling. He lost a ton of weight. He's doing belly flops when he's running from third. I mean, he was doing it all. He was just playing so hard, and they played as a team collectively harder than the Yankees, and it showed, man. We just looked flat, with the exception of Judge. Nobody showed up, And and Yankees fans know, like, it takes more. And I talked to I didn't talk to A-Rod, but I was talking to you earlier about A-Rod's comments.
A-Rod before we got on.
Part of what I think we have to understand about him is that he doesn't have a good relationship with the Yankees. Like, he ended that, effectively when he left.
Shocking.
He did not really leave on good terms. I mean, maybe publicly they made some announcements, but he was super critical over Brian Cashman and the roster construction. And if you notice, if you go back and watch that clip, Jeter's on the same panel. While A-Rod is telling everybody that Boone has the least amount of blame in the organization, he went out and said, it's the worst roster construction I've ever seen. And the camera cuts to Jeter, and Jeter's looking at him like, is he really going to say this? Is he really saying this right now? Like, I can't believe he's going to say this. Because I bet Jeter's probably thinking the same thing, but Jeter has a bit more class.
No, I mean, he looked, and he's an opportunist, and he wants to turn the screw when he can, and he had his chance. And he had his moment. Cashman's not there to defend himself. Look, I've never been and never will be an A-Rod fan. I just don't like anything about him.
Yeah,
he's just not my style of player at all.
But I do think he's right. There is a kernel of truth in that. They have to think about how they construct their roster a little bit differently. They have, he talked about how many first basemen they had, rotating in Ben Rice, who really wasn't a first baseman, but where else do you have to put his bat somewhere in the lineup? And first base is the only real position that he can play beyond catcher. And, I think he did an okay job, but we needed Wells' defense back there. So you're not going to pull Wells out of the lineup, especially with pitchers like Fried and Rodon, who, you need a good catcher back there. So what do we do from here? I don't know.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's not like you don't need a complete teardown.
No, I don't think anybody wants us to tear it down.
Yeah,
but we have to have some hard decisions and hard conversations about, like, do we extend Jazz past this year? By the way, he's under contract for one more year. So this is his last year, and people are screaming for him to be extended. And I'm just like, I don't think we need him.
No, I mean, like, if that's your chance to get a little younger or get a little bit more veteran, like, I mean, yes, Jazz is a veteran, but just that baseball player that you need.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Get that guy who can hit 270, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs, solid defender, and keeps the line moving.
Yes, and gets on base. He doesn't have to slug. He doesn't have to slug. He just needs to get on base, draws walks.
I was going to say, like, maybe this is somebody who draws as many walks as strikeouts. Isn't that a novel concept? Maybe somebody who doesn't strike out 150 times. Well, how many times did Jazz strike out?
Strikeouts 148 times. There you go.
2. I took a guess. I don't even watch this guy. I was like, he just seems like somebody who strikes out 150 times a year. 148. Jeez.
High strikeouts. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care for those players. And how many hits?
He had 112 hits.
112 hits, 148 strikeouts. I mean, what's his batting average by strikeouts?
242. It was his BA this year.
No, but I mean, like, if you swap out strikeout, like, so his strikeouts were he hit 300 in strikeouts.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, it's ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. I hate that shit.
Again, he's in there for his athleticism. He'll in one game make the most amazing acrobatic play, and in the very next inning hold the ball too long because he doesn't see the runner from third advancing and trying to score.
Oh no, that drives me crazy.
But people will look at the acrobatic play and think, like, what an amazing athlete. It's like,
nobody else could do that.
No, exactly. He looked acrobatic because maybe he was in the wrong position, and by the way, the first baseman just happened to scoop the ball like it would have been give me the guy that hits 270, that gets on base, that doesn't strike out, that puts the ball in play. Who?
You need more Scott Brochy.
Scott Brochy. Yeah.
That's what you need. You need more of the Scott Brochy. You need more Scott Brochy. And those kinds of players that just, deliver and don't fold.
And
Paul O'Neill.
I mean, look, and the guys that you're mentioning, Paul O'Neill has had bad postseasons before. It's okay to have a bad postseason. I don't want to pick on like any one player and say like, well, Jazz was the reason we lost or Cody Bellinger was the reason we lost. It's because everyone failed, right? And it's because some of your guys will not have that good postseason. It's even more incentive, more reason to have those guys that put the ball in play. You can't have a bunch of swing and miss on your team because nothing happens. You're not putting the defenses in tough positions. These are not stress pitches that you're putting on the pitcher with no runners on. They're just mowing through you because they know they can strike you out. So it's okay to struggle. The way to avoid the full team collapse is to have a more balanced lineup and to have a more balanced approach where guys are putting the ball in play. And that it starts in the minor leagues. And so like
it does.
You have to look at Cashman, and I'd be as analytically driven as they are. I would hope that they find some numbers that say like, you know what, there's actually some value in putting the ball in play. Why don't we try that? There has to be a number, right? There has to be some sort of number that says we just lost to a team that killed us, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. And then, the 1,000th one was Vladdy Jr. Grand Slam. That's why he's in the lineup.
Yeah, but that's what the Yankees of 97 to 2000 were doing. Every day.
Don't forget 96.
Every day it was a new hero. Every day somebody else was coming through when it mattered.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this: bases loaded in that situation. Okay, whatever. Austin Wells. Would you rather have a hot Jazz who's like, let's say he's hitting 350, and next year you're in this situation. You have a hot Jazz in the playoffs who's hitting 350, bases loaded. Would you rather have him up or a cold, or a Paul O'Neill? Like, who had struggled in the playoffs? Like, who would you rather see in that situation where it's like, all I need is a knock. All I need is a knock to get this guy in.
Yeah.
Who are you taking?
Look, I'm going to go Paul O'Neill over Jazz all day.
a cold Paul O'Neill who's been struggling in the playoffs. I would put all my money on him versus a red hot Jazz because he's gonna do what Jose Reyes always did and just boop, pop it up to right field because he's trying too hard. He just can't quite get that timing. He's too excited.
And so it's a tough question, and I would still go with Paul, but it's like so much of it is the eye test and knowing how well they've played. Like if Jazz is hitting 350 in the playoffs, I'd probably feel okay about it, but I also in the back of my mind would think the potential for this strikeout or a pop-up or anything is so much greater. And the pitcher knows that. And regardless of how cold or hot they are, you just want the better hitter up. Like as bad as Judge has been in the postseason, like every time he came up, you were like, thank God it's Judge. Like this is the guy, right? This is the guy we want up there because we know like he's got to break through at some point. Now he didn't do it until this last year, but like give me the best bat. And it's not Jazz, man. It's not Jazz. So I just want hitters on this team, and I think we have to go out and make a trade. Who that is, I can't say. I don't know that the answer is going to be in the minor leagues.
Jeff McNeil.
No.
You want him?
I mean, is he as good as gone? Is his contract up with the?
No, I think he has another season or two. Probably another. He might have. Yeah, it's one or two. I think.
Yeah.
I used to love the guy because he used to be that guy that like he would bear down and go opposite field and hit where the defense wasn't, but I don't know if it's Eric Chavez that's gotten to him, but he's pull happy. He just is not the same type of hitter. He needs a change of scenery. It's unfortunate because I love Jeff McNeil. I used to love his energy and excitement. Now it just, hey, I'm not going to say like the team was winning last year. Jeff McNeil was not a part of last year.
Was not a part of that.
He was injured. He wasn't part of that. I mean, that's the whole Jose Iglesias. Mm-hmm. He was playing second because McNeil was hurt.
Yeah, and those are the guys, like you said, those are the guys that make the difference on the team. The Jose Iglesiases, the Ernie Clements, the Tommy Edmonds. Yeah. the guys that you kind of don't expect. I mean, look at Shohei was, I think, 1 for 12, 13 in the division series. Like, good pitchers get around good hitters, you know?
Which is why, like, I never would want Bryce Harper on my team. I just feel like the Phillies are just they're not going to win it. I knew they weren't, they just fold.
Yeah.
They don't have that. They don't have confidence. And I think it starts with Bryce, who like puts too much pressure on himself, and he just, whatever. He had a good postseason, what was it, a couple of years ago? Then it was a flash in the pan. I just don't like, I used to remember some of my favorite battles were the Dark Knight against Harper. He owned his ass. He just would, and you could just see it in Harper's eyes. Every time he stepped into the batter's box, it was just like, I had all the confidence in the world this guy would not come through. He was awful, and he just owned him.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of swing and miss on that team, right? I mean,
too much.
It's too much swing and miss, and like that, it can get you there. You know, it's good in the regular season when you're a bully offense and you're beating up on bad pitching, which the Yankees excel at.
Oh yeah, and that's the Phillies, and they have zero. They have zero of those guys. They have zero Tommy Edmonds.
Yeah,
maybe Harrison Bader. He might be the like.
Bring
he
him
might
back,
be the
please.
one. Yeah. Oh, I want.
God,
him.
I want Bader. No, I want Bader.
He's mine.
He's mine.
He's mine.
You can't have him. Please bring him back.
We both had him.
Oh my God, I know. Why did we let him go?
But to me, Harrison Bader he was always the guy after the 7th inning last year that was coming through.
Yeah.
And he's the type of player that he's the only one on the Phillies that I would have trusted in that kind of situation. Schwarber, or whatever, I don't care. It's like he'll come in 7-2 and hit a home run.
Hit another homer, right, when it doesn't matter, in garbage time.
Yeah, all that stuff. I don't need Schwarber. I mean, and it's funny, I was reading an article on, what's the Phillies' next step? What are they going to do? Oh, it's time for change. And then they're like, oh, we need to re-sign Schwarber. We need to re-sign JT Realmuto. We need to re-sign. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you're good. That's the time for change is not to re-sign everyone.
Right.
And Mets are in the same situation.
But I think the Mets, I mean, let's talk about them for a second, because I don't think they're far away either.
I don't think they're far.
I don't think they're far away. I think this was, you could look at the first half of the season. They were the best team in baseball with, a pitching staff that was obviously, pitching better than they did the second half. Mm-hmm. But they feel like they're just 1 or 2 moves away, and one of them has to be a starting pitcher.
I agree.
That same bullpen could come in next year and rip it out of just rip it out. I don't even know who says that, but you know what I mean.
They could rip it out.
They could rip it out of somebody's hands.
Ripping. Yeah, I don't know what they're ripping from, but they will rip it.
That same bullpen could tear it up or light it up or whatever the phrase is.
We have like nothing but free agents in the bullpen now, and Reed Garrett's hurt. You could tell something was wrong with him. I really liked Reed Garrett. He would come in and get that ground ball double play every time we needed him to.
Yeah.
Soxie's out for the season. Our whole bullpen is free agents.
Would you bring back Rogers?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I do like those guys with the funky delivery. Just change the arm angle. Yeah. I'd bring him back. I don't know what the hell they're going to have to overpay for him.
But that's, again, we've talked about it. That's what you do with these pitchers. Like when you know the value in the postseason, like they're not sexy in the regular season, but when you see bullpen games like we saw in Toronto or in New York, and when we see the value of closing out these late innings, I think the Phillies used Duran in the 7th or 8th inning in that last game, or if not earlier. I mean, whatever it was, but like it was not a save situation, but it was the heart of the order, and they brought in their best. Right? Yeah. It's like you just need those arms. The opportunity to win or lose the game was right there in that inning. And you just need not just one guy, you need a couple of guys that can do that.
Yeah.
And then the Phillies lost. Congratulations, by the way, the Phillies lost.
Oh, I love it. There's no team now that I'd rather see. Couldn't happen to a better team. I hate the Phillies.
I didn't think they had it.
No, that team is paper tigers. They just don't. They're too mental.
Yeah,
they're too mental.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think both of our teams are they're right there. I know the Mets missed the playoffs, but like it's by a game and just weird circumstances around the pitching staff and everyone you had to bring up. I think you're one ace away and a solid bullpen from having a really if you got Skubal. I mean, is there a chance you get Skubal? Did they sign it? Is he signed long term?
I don't know, but I was talking with a buddy of mine who's a Tigers fan today, and he was like, "So you guys taking Skubal from us? Like, is that a done deal?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Like, is that a thing? Like, that's an option? Because yes, please."
Wow. He signed a 1-year, $10 million contract.
When? This year?
This year for 2025.
Was that arbitration? I guess.
2026 you'll make. Okay, so yeah. How's this breakdown? God, if the Mets got Skubal, arbitration 2025, yeah.
How old is he?
2026 arbitration.
28?
He
27? 26. I'm just going to keep guessing.
You're so close.
24, 23, 22.
He's in his 20s.
He's 38.
He is 28 years old.
28? That's old for arbitration, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's all these articles are talking about maybe him getting moved. God, anyone would be lucky to have him. He is nasty. He is so nasty.
Yeah. I'll take him.
You'll take him.
I'll take him and Skeens, please.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the Skeens. Go get Skeens. I love how Yankees fans, maybe Mets fans do this too. It's like, trade the farm for Skeens. They just think that these players are available, that they can do anything they want. Yeah. Like, we'll give you our entire minor league system. You give us Skeens. The Bucks have already said they're not interested in trading Skeens. He's not going anywhere. Now, maybe down the line he ends up going somewhere, but like, he's a young, controllable pitcher. You think they're just going to give him up for Spencer Jones, a bunch of minor leaguers who have no major league experience? I think we're delusional sometimes. I don't think we think clearly about these types of things.
Yeah. I think what's nice for the Mets, and I'd almost be maybe surprised if all three of them wind up like Sproat, Tong, and McLean. I don't think they're moving McLean. I think that's the one that they're like, maybe we got something here.
Yeah.
I could see either Sproat or Tong getting moved for Skubal, sure. I'm featuring them both, but I think that is what's nice from this last year is they both got that major league experience and like they both showed some flashes. So now I think their value is probably a touch higher than what it is.
Right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, look, at the end of the day, I think the Mets are starting pitching away. Bullpens are hit or miss every year anyway. I think you guys are middle relief away. I think the Mets are starting pitching, and I think we both need the Tommy Edmonds. We both need 2 to 3 Tommy Edmonds on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of players.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, like Jose Caballero was supposed to kind of be that guy, but he didn't get a lot of opportunities in the postseason. Aaron Boone liked him coming off the bench. But he's one of those just like drives you nuts, gives you a bunch of fits in the box, foul off pitches, and obviously got a ton of speed.
Guys.
Yeah. Anthony Volpe, I thought had a good wild card series, was a 0 in the division series again. Yeah. We just got to move on from him, man. I don't. God, how many more chances we got to give him? Somebody brought up they brought up a good.
Old though.
He's not that. No, he's in his third season. Yeah, no, he's super young. But it's weird the way some teams treat certain players. And fans do this also. Gleyber Torres, had one kind of down year, maybe a year and a half of just like less than stellar baseball, and fans were just like, get him out of here. This is after like he'd had like really productive seasons. And so the Yankees, they ship him off. They don't ship him off. They just let him go, right?
Go.
But Anthony Volpe has had 3 years now of just like, and I know he's young, I don't want to crush him, but like he just, like, why do we give Anthony Volpe all the opportunities, but Gleyber has one bad year and we don't re-sign him?
Yeah.
Like we were a better team with Glaber and Soto last year than, and not just because we made the World Series.
Or it's because Juan Soto.
Or, I mean, Juan Soto had a big part of it, but like Glaber was huge in the postseason. He was getting on base ahead of Soto and Judge. Giancarlo Stanton also a 0 this year in the postseason. Really did not end up doing much. But it's weird the way some teams treat certain guys. Like they're willing to give Volpe year in and year out, like chances upon chances upon chances, and like Glaber is just like expendable. Like he's a better player than Anthony Volpe. He's a better bat. Maybe not with the pop that Jazz has, but he just gave you better at bats. That's what I want. I want better at bats. I don't need home runs. I want better at bats.
Yeah. I mean, better at bats wins in the clutch.
Yeah.
Because you can string out. I mean, God, Alex Gordon killed us. Just foul off every Noah Syndergaard fastball. Didn't matter. Like, or Harvey or DeGrom or, oh man, what a nasty staff that was in 2015.
Yeah.
But those are the guys that win.
Yeah. Yep.
Get that pitch count high, get to the bullpen earlier.
Right. I miss those days, man. It was like the Yankees would get your starter at 100 pitches in the 5th inning in those early, like late 90s, early 2000 teams. We knew that we were going to get to your bullpen. And, you know, this is before bullpens were what they are now, where everyone's throwing gas. We just don't do that anymore. We're not trying to get, you know, we'd like to get pitch count up, and maybe we do, but we're not as good at it anymore. It's because we're too aggressive, and I don't think we take the wrong pitches also. I mean, how many right down the middle fastballs have we watched this entire postseason? It's like, that was your pitch, bro. You're not getting another one.
Yeah. Like,
that's the one. That's the one you needed, and you guessed wrong. You thought ball was coming. And we just don't play like that. And I know the game isn't played the same way it was. And I don't want to be the old guy who's just like, in my day. But like, when has any other Yankees team been that productive, been that scary?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Who do you like in the remainder of the matchups now? We got the championship series.
Oof. I can't bet against the Dodgers. I want the Brewers to win.
Yeah.
I mean, just give those guys a chance, please. They've been so good and so fringe for so long.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see the Brewers win. I would just beat the Dodgers. I mean, even if they just beat the Dodgers, that would be their World Series.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, the $300 and whatever million payroll against the Brewers, who lost their closer, lost their all-star shortstop, and here they are, best team in baseball.
Don't forget about Bob Uecker. They lost Bob Uecker.
Winner
for Uke.
In the American League, I don't like either of those teams. Sorry.
Yeah.
Neither one of them. I guess. Oh God.
I think Toronto is the best team in the American League. I said it a couple episodes ago. I think they beat Seattle.
Probably.
They're hot right now. You know, Seattle's coming off a 15-inning game. I know that was like 2 nights ago now at this point, but
they're still playing. Aren't they?
Having seen what Toronto did against us, I think they're the better team. And you know, I don't want to give anyone any other additional reasons to vote for Cal Raleigh for MVP. So
yeah, how pissed though would baseball be if it's the Brewers against the Mariners? Like 2 of the smallest markets.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of market, they probably want, you know, LA there, but
LA Toronto,
but both of those teams have stars, and I think what you want is your stars. It's like if Seattle makes it, you have Raleigh. If Toronto makes it, you have Vlad. Obviously, Ohtani, Betts, and that whole team in LA.
Milwaukee, you've got
you got
what are they going? Not your above average Joes? Is that
above average Joes? Yeah. And what are we talking about? The guys that come in that no one expects that win. Yeah. I think the Brewers probably beat the Dodgers. I
hope so. I think so.
I think they will. They'll have home field. They have the arms. LA's got arms too, but all of their arms are starters. They have no bullpen to speak of. They're throwing starters as relievers. So that's their recipe this season. Sasaki.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been a Dave Roberts fan, but
Same.
Hot damn. Well, yeah, for
I have a lot of reasons to hate
for
Dave
multiple
Roberts.
reasons. Yeah,
Mine go back to 2004. Just saying.
4. Yeah, no, I know exactly where you're going with that. How the fuck did he lose that series? Anyway, but Dave Roberts, man, say what you will, that guy, his teams win. Like his teams win, and good on him. That was going to be a tough one with the Phillies, and they pulled it out.
Yeah. No, I thought the two division series were good matchups. You had Cubs Brewers division series, Phillies Dodgers, like just two powerhouse teams.
Yeah.
I like Pat Murphy for the Brewers. He feels like a kind of a player's coach, and
he seems old school.
He seems old school, man. That's what I like about him. I think Brewers Toronto, and I'd probably give the edge to Toronto. Part of me just, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this on the record, but I'd like Don Mattingly to win a World Series ring. And as a Yankees fan, I know that probably rubs some people the wrong way because they just beat us. But Donnie Baseball needs a ring. I don't know, because Yankees fans get bitter and they don't want to root for anyone in their own division. At this point, I'm just like, y'all are better than us. You beat us. We're not losing to you again. So go out and get a ring for Donnie Baseball, man. He needs one.
I can get by it. I've always liked Donnie Baseball.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and like he's been in the game for so long. He's bounced around in a couple of different organizations. I'd like to see him get a ring. We'll see, but I think it'll be Toronto, Milwaukee, and I think it'll be a tight series. I think it'll be a very, very tight series. I guess the Brewers.
That's a good. Yeah, you think the Brewers win that?
No. Well, I was gonna say, do the Brewers get home field? How is home field determined now?
Yeah,
because they had the better record.
I think so, right?
I think so.
I think they won it through the whole playoffs.
Yes, so the Brewers would have home field. Yeah, they need one. The Brewers need one.
They need one.
Yeah,
do it for the U.
Donnie needs one. Anyone but the Dodgers now at this point. Really, it's just anyone but the Dodgers.
I'm all in. I don't want Seattle. It's not. I'm not there yet.
Well, the Seattle storyline is they've never won one. They've never even seen a World Series. So, but just by making it to the World Series would be great for them.
Haven't won any.
Huh?
Oh, you're saying make it, but the Brewers haven't won a World Series.
No, the Brewers haven't won, but Seattle's never made it. Man,
I guess
Seattle, Milwaukee, that would be crazy.
That would be nuts. But again, one of those teams won't win a World Series.
That's right. That's right. But
again,
so long as they look good doing it, that's okay. You got to look better than the Yankees because we look dreadful. Well, Chad, I don't know. This might be the season finale. I don't know if we get inspired to talk about anything else. Maybe the next set of roster moves, whenever those land. Probably not until post World Series.
Yeah, maybe we make it a fortnightly episode or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down for that. But it's been a blast chatting baseball with you and watching our teams rise and fall.
I've done mostly falling.
Mostly falling. So
ever since we started this podcast, it's just been nothing but downhill for the Mets. So
well, there was one week there at the beginning where
it was great. It was 1 week. How many? We've done 12, Phil.
You've had one good week.
I had 1 week. 1 week where I don't think we lost. I think it was episode 2. I was like, we got to, or no, 1 between 1 and 2. I was like, we can't stop doing this because Mets haven't lost since we started doing this.
And then as soon as you said that, it was just
as soon as I said that, nothing but L's.
Oh God. Well, I'm still gonna follow it because I don't have anything else to watch. I was telling some friends at a wedding last night. Oh, Chris Yurchek got married last night, by the way. I saw Anthony.
Oh, yes.
He had a couple of Brewers friends, and I'm asking him, like, what are you going to do? It's like 8 o'clock. That's like when the reception, we've already talked to Chris. He's given us permission to watch the game. So great. But it's exciting to watch. And they asked me, well, what are you going to do now that the Yankees are out? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just watch hockey. I've always liked hockey, and I'm not paying attention to football the same way. Hockey is way more interesting to me. So I'm thinking about maybe picking up the Rangers again and seeing, if I can get behind them or maybe the Islanders. I don't know. Who's hot this year, Chad? The hockey season just started.
They both suck. I think the Rangers, the Islanders are going to be terrible.
Okay, so I'm going for the Rangers.
Oh, no, but read up on Matthew Schaefer the guy the Islanders picked number 1 overall.
Okay.
Read up on him, and then you might become an Islanders fan.
All right. Matthew Schaefer. Is he playing with the team currently?
He is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. He's already got 2 points, 2 games. He scored his first career goal last night. Yeah. So he's just a, like, I mean, talk about classy 18-year-olds. Holy, this guy's off the charts.
18?
He's 18.
Oh my God.
He's off the charts in terms of like just composure and personality. And I didn't want them to draft him. I wanted the Islanders to draft somebody else, but that guy is off the charts. Just a class act. So if you're gonna go with either one, go with them. The Rangers are just they're a dumpster fire. They're part of the whole MSG thing. Dolan,
yeah.
Chris Drury's an idiot. That whole team is just a mess. I think they'll do okay this year, maybe, but I don't think
half the league makes the playoffs, right? I mean, like the NBA, like almost half the league makes it.
Yeah, it's like 16 teams out of 32 or whatever it is.
Yeah. 18 years old. I mean, I know they can come into the NHL on the younger side, but like that 18. Seems young for even the NHL.
I think he didn't turn 18 until like September. He's like one of the youngest.
18 and 36 days old.
Yeah. He is a baby, and he missed half of last season, or more than half of last season too.
He played last year at 17?
No, sorry, no. Oh. In his draft eligible year.
Oh, okay,
He only played 17 games, and he's coming in now and looking. He's probably the best Islander. Wow. He's defenseman, which whatever, but he's a good dude.
All right,
I'll read up on his backstory, and actually better yet, there's the Islanders do they're kind of doing their own Hard Knocks thing. They do like a docu thing. They do the thing. You can watch one of those episodes heading into the draft. The Islanders, they're going to be good for not this year, but they're going to be good. They've got some solid young kids.
So if I'm going to jump on a hockey team, you suggest the Islanders. All right. Now there's got to be like NHL TV, right? If I like fork over $100, can I get hockey for as long as I want?
I don't know. I tried to watch the Islanders play the Caps last night. I tried to watch that and I couldn't.
Blacked out.
Apparently no, it was because Monumental. I tried to watch it on my damn TV downstairs. Monumental's blocked out. I was like, what the? I hate the Caps broadcast. Those guys are terrible. And I couldn't even watch that.
What was the reason?
Because Monumental's now gone like all rogue, and they have their own thing where you have to pay like $17 a month or whatever to get Monumental. It's like, fuck off.
Oh no. So I can't. Oh man.
I don't even know if you can watch Caps games without signing up to get Monumental.
Boo.
Yeah, it's well, at least I wasn't able to watch it local. But see, and like this is my problem is like the Mets are out now. I have the Islanders and the Jets to look forward to.